In this video, we're going to go over a complete guide on how you can make a lasting habit of going to the gym. You can apply this to any part of your life, so it could be just getting work done, doing stretching, anything like that. I'm going to focus it on going to the gym in this video. So, what are habits? Habits are things our nervous system has either learnt consciously or unconsciously. It learns these habits from a thing called neuroplasticity. These are how the nervous system changes the connection between neurons. An example of a conscious habit is grabbing a glass of water after you wake up. You're conscious that you're doing it. An unconscious habit could be something like biting your nails when you're nervous or anxious. How do you know when a habit is formed? You know when a habit is formed when it won't take so much energy or overthinking to start the activity. So if you're wanting to go to the gym and you are really procrastinating about going, this shows that it's not a strong habit yet. But if the majority of the time you're willing to go to the gym and there's only a little bit of friction for you to get into the gym, then you have built a habit. You know how strong the habit is based off two things: whether it is context dependent or context independent. What this means is you need to be in a specific environment to do a habit, such as you need to be in your own house to eat healthy. If you're in someone else's house, you are unlikely to eat healthy. This shows that it's a weaker habit. And context independent, meaning that you eat healthy wherever you go, meaning the habit is strong. The second way you know how strong a habit is just how much energy and friction it takes for you to start the habit. This is a step you can use to increase your chances of doing the habit. If you're finding it hard to do a habit, visualize doing the task before you do it. So visualize every step that it will take to do something. I'll give an example as going to the gym. As going to the gym is actually harder than when you're in the gym. So to go to the gym, you need to get up, you need to get changed, you need to put your shoes on, you need to go to the car, you need to turn on the engine, you need to drive to the gym, you need to get out, lock the car, go into the gym. Breaking it down into these little steps make it a lot easier for you to follow through with the habit, as it's only one little step you need to do instead of the whole daunting task of doing the whole thing. On Andrew Huberman's podcast, he explains a method of making sure your habits are put up into different phases of the day. Splits up the habit into 3 different phases. Putting these habits into the 3 different phases of the day could enable you to be more consistent with the habits, as the tasks are more associated with your mental state rather than just the time. And the 3 different phases of the day are related to the mental state you're usually in during this time. Phase 1, 0 to 8 hours after waking. Adrenaline, dopamine, cortisol are high in this period, so going to the gym in this period is a good idea as you're more alert and awake. Also, another benefit is you can take caffeine during this period as it won't affect your sleep, so it will make working out easier as you're more energized and ready to work out, as caffeine has benefits like more alertness, faster reaction time and other things that make working out easier. What I'd recommend you do is earliest in the morning you put your hardest task first. For some of you this will be the gym, for others it will be mental tasks, but you want to put your hardest thing that you're going to do in the day first thing in the morning, as your energy and just wakefulness is highest in this period, so it should be the easiest to get it done now. Then later on in the day when you're drained and fatigued from everything else you've already done. Phase 2, 9 to 15 hours after waking. Adrenaline, dopamine and cortisol start to taper down during this period. It would be a better idea to put your habits that you find easier to do in this portion of the day. Examples are things like meditation, journaling, going for walks, and other things that won't significantly need a lot of energy and discipline to do. However, it's not necessarily that you can't do anything that requires physical energy, like going to the gym. You just don't want to be doing a task later in the day that you find really hard to do and requires a lot of friction for you to get it done, as you're just going against your own biology, as all the wakefulness promoting hormones like dopamine, adrenaline are starting to taper down to prepare you for sleep, so it'll just make doing the task harder. So if you're trying to develop a new habit, put it as early in the day as your schedule allows, as this will increase the likelihood that you're actually going to get it done. Once you find that the habit is easier to stick to, you can move it around to make it more convenient for you, as long as you're sticking to it, and you can add new stuff in and just play around with what you do and where you do it to strengthen the habit. Phase 3, 15 to 24 hours after waking. This is the time when you're sleeping. This part of the day is the most important of everything we have covered, as it allows your body to recover and learn the neurological changes that you have made during the day. I'll link a video below on how to optimize your sleep so that you can get all the benefits that sleep provides, and you can make sure you are increasing the likelihood that you're going to be doing your habit of going to the gym or whatever your other habit is. Once you find the task becoming easier throughout the day, then you have known you have made a habit. The second part of this video, I'll be summarizing Atomic Habits and applying it to the gym. Atomic Habits is a book written by James Clear, and he goes over how to make habits with little small changes throughout the day that compound up to make massive effects on your overall life. The most important piece of information to know is that 1% improvements every day will add up and make the difference more than massive action, as it's more sustainable and over time it'll make a bigger impact. Focus on the process of working out and not your end desire to look and feel better, as everyone has the same goal of trying to look better, but how many people do you know who have actually achieved it? The problem here is no one is following their process to get to their goal. They're all just focusing on the end goal but have no process to get there. A good quote I like from Ross Edgley is, "The answer is so often hard work, the question is so often irrelevant." The goals that you set for yourself give you direction, but the process is what will make the change and will put you on the right trajectory to achieve the goals. I'll go over the 4 laws of making a habit. Law number 1, make it obvious. To make sure you can stick to a habit the best you can possibly do, you want to make it as obvious as possible to yourself, to remind yourself to do the habit so that you don't forget to do it, or you just try and put it off. But if you make it obvious to yourself, then you've got more accountability. In terms in the gym, you can set out your gym clothes the day before and sort other shit out the day before to ensure you've optimized your environment so that it's easier to go. Even if you won't have the motivation in the morning, the amount of discipline needed will be reduced, making it easier to go to the gym. Law number 2 of habit making, make it attractive. The best example of making a gym as fun as possible is just to make sure you have a really good gym playlist you can listen to while working out, as this will motivate you and also make it more exciting to train. You can also try other things like going with friends, as this will make it easier to get to the gym. Law number 3 of habit making, make it easy. Reduce the friction for working out. Doing this by putting it early in the day, like we talked about earlier, as you have the most energy. You can also start off small. This could be a 5 to 10 minute home workout, as traveling to the gym might be too inconvenient right now. So start small and gradually build it up. Break the process down bit by bit, step by step, action by action. Keep adding the incremental small blocks on top of it until you have the whole structure that you wanted in the first place, instead of shooting for the whole structure straight away to realize you haven't built up the foundations and it all crumbles down. Law 4 of habit making, make it satisfying. Enjoy the time while you work out and enjoy the peace of mind knowing that you're doing something you said you were going to do. Make the process its own reward. That's all there is to making a habit. But I believe that is everything we are going to cover for today's video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.